Good afternoon. What's up? Magmukbang taog bulad. Mukbang tag bulad. Halopinos. Dayon. Bread. Loaf bread. Mukbang tag bulad.
I want to direct my comments specifically to a piece of legislation that you are debating and considering, H.R. 3397. This legislation would require the Director of the Bureau of Land Management to withdraw a rule relating to conservation and landscape health. This rule is just one of many that highlights an example of overreaching, unelected bureaucracy, attempting to perpetuate radical environmental policies that ignore common sense. They ignore stewardship practices that have been practiced on our land for generations. While allowing multiple uses of this precious resource to strengthen America and our people. We have doing that for many, many years. In my written testimony, which I've submitted today to you, Mr. Chairman, I list several specific reasons why this rule would be so devastating for our people in South Dakota and for our economy. Why I think it's impossible for them to move forward with this and to responsibly conserve our land. I encourage all of you to read that written testimony. It goes into much more detail. Today, I've joined a letter with other governors, with governors of Utah, Idaho, Montana, Nevada, and my friend sitting here. He's a voice, and they all voice concerns with the Biden administration directly on this proposed rule. Like many of you, land conservation for our family is it's the way that we live for many, many generations. I was raised by a dad who often reminded me, Christy, we don't sell land because God's not making any more land. From the time I was a young girl, I listened to him talk about soil types. I listened to him talk about the importance of native ground, conservation practices, and management decisions. I learned the scientific data and the research of what it took to operate on that land and to protect it. Halopinos. So much because working on land wasn't just a job or a career to my father. It was our family legacy. It was our way of life. It was a culture that not only preserves a critical work ethic country, but it also reminds us of the natural resources that were a gift from God. As I grew older, I learned more about the importance of keeping all areas of our country productive to help stabilize the economy every part of our nation needs to produce. And that would help us during very difficult economic times. I also learned how critical it was to
halopinos, guys.
How important it was to protect our nation's food supply and to produce our own food. Now, when I was elected governor, I selected a fellow rancher as my lieutenant governor. His name was Larry Roden, and to our knowledge, we are the only governor and lieutenant governor in the history of the nation that both spent our lives making a living from agriculture. We're very proud of that, and we understand as well as anyone that our farmers and our ranchers care about our land. We care about preserving it to pass it on to our kids and to our grandkids. My experience in business and
Nani ba mamukha bulad, guys? Amay. Kao mo bulad o ulos o kaning kwan bukog. Halopinos pinakahalang. Mahalang gud imong lawas tanan. Basta makakaon ka ni. Kanang ilubong-lubot inig malibang ka, halang kayo. Grabe ka halang. Yan akong mata, guys. Tubig. Tubig, guys. I need water. Lang nga, guys, oy.
For these $300 million cruise ships, this is the one.
Di masilbig dito may namog tubig, guys. Soon ta sa uban. Mukbang.
Have all sent ships to Western Turkey for demolition. Here they'll be ripped to shreds, deck by deck, and sold for parts.
Yani geminin tamamını geri dönüştürüyoruz.
But carrying a ship that holds
Thanks for
1,000
watching.
passengers, well, that's
Bye-bye.
Most dangerous job in the world.
Shipwreckers saw